Well, like many other coastal regions, this A-Aagora region has a coastal lagoon, which is a quite complex social-ecological system, as we have, of course, many natural environments that are classified either by Habitats Directive or Water Framework Directive. So they are to preserve, and they have valuable ecosystem services associated, but also the social and economical, but also cultural part of the system, because it's also human-shaped. So there are a lot of sectors, values that needs to be taken into account, both from the industry side. For instance, we have, like many other coastal cities, a harbor, which is regionally and nationally important for the region, but we also have small-scale fisheries, and one additional part is the tourism. We do know that coastal areas also have increasing pressure on tourism. So how can the tourism sector, for instance, by replacing the fuels by greener solutions, how they can also contribute to this major goal of decarbonization? We also have cultural heritage that needs to take into account. So the challenge is how to bring all these parts together and at the same time cope with the target goals from the EU policies like decarbonization, restoration. So in this sense, it was the challenge was really to bring this together and combine decarbonization with carbon storage, enhancement of carbon storage. So when we have such a challenge, the first thing is to invite everyone that should be involved in the process. So in this case, port authorities, companies that are testing these new formulations, researchers that are doing seagrass restoration, other stakeholders that have been involved in the restoration process, but also on the bigger context of a living lab, so that all people that can have a say and contribute to the process should be involved, because this is also about trade-offs and discussion about the possible pathways and solutions that we could implement, and including a company that is being specialized on these biohuts to restore biodiversity in more grey infrastructure, so to make them more nature, recreate habitats so we can enhance biodiversity. So the different steps were first to engage everyone and to co-create a plan, how we would be progressing and how we could put all these different contributions together and reach these goals not only on biodiversity, but also on the two ways of bringing decarbonization of port logistics with the decarbonization of the small boats tourism sector, but also with the carbon sequestration at the seagrass level. We also developed an interface technological platform where we could have these different sectors showcasing how these different sectors could contribute to this major goal. So it's about modeling, but also to see this interface where we could see the contribution of the different sectors, for instance, on decarbonization, but also on carbon sequestration. And this is like an icebreaker that can be used elsewhere. So to engage other places, like with municipalities, other industries, because this pattern can be seen elsewhere in coastal areas. So where you have a port authority, you have tourism, you have the municipalities, you have the citizens, either a research center or a university, but the contacts, they work as a network. So you can bring everyone together, and this platform is really to show, it could be used in a tablet, for instance, and it can really show how different sectors can contribute to a common goal. The Port Authority has developed a CO2 calculator, so you can use it on different areas because it's open access. And we also developed protocols for seagrass restoration, so people can also take what is more relevant for the context of their region. Regarding the tourism sector, is very much rely on small boats. not only inside the lagoon, but also to go out fishing, sports fishing outside the lagoon. So this is a sector that could benefit also or contribute to the decarbonization by having this replacement of traditional fuels formulations by these new formulations. So there is a company testing these formulations and having them, so they are developing these formulations, but then also testing them with some of these companies, tourism companies, to check the efficiency and how also the engines behave, and the sector could benefit from these new formulations. The key messages is, one of the major is communication. So engage everyone at the start, because usually you have conflicting interests within coastal areas. So the third recommendation is restoration, enhancement of biodiversity, change of behavior, change of actions. They need time. So we need to promote this, we need to enhance, but we cannot expect results like this. So time is your friend, and communication, engagement, and time. I think it would be my 3 key messages.